Okay, hello everybody. We're going to talk about reference words today. And basically, it's when we're reading and we see a word like it, we need to stop and ask ourselves, what does it mean? So let's take a look at what I mean by reference words. These are words that replace. We use them instead of other words or ideas in a text, or perhaps in the world. They refer to words or ideas in the text, or sometimes in the world, but mostly in the text. Let's take a look at an example. So we have a sentence, many more young people want a university education today than ever before. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 words. And instead of repeating it, we're talking about people. We mean they. They hope, who hopes? Many more young people. Hope it, university education, will help them, again, many more young people get better jobs. We use this so we don't have to repeat again and again. Let's listen if we didn't use reference words or pronouns. Many more young people want a university education today more than ever before. Many more young people hope university education will help many more young people get better jobs. The text doesn't flow. It repeats. So we use pronouns like they and it and them to replace a group of words. So what kind of words are we talking about? It's words like who and whom and which and whose and that and whereby and this, that, these, those, to, both, a few, some, the others, his, her, mine, their, he, she, it, they, because all of these words, if they're not in context, really don't have any meaning. He, what he? My brother, my husband, my friend, my neighbor. Mine, well, mine what? That, what that? A few what? So when these words begin to have meaning, they'll be in a text. And also we have words like two. Two what? The two of them. The two whos? Both. And usually these words refer to something that was mentioned previously in the part of the text. Just like we were talking about a university education, that was mentioned before the word it. So let's look at another example. The Finns from Finland were happy enough to escape from the Swedes, but they feared Russia too. They, the Finns, did not want to lose their, Finns, identity in Russia. So when we ask, what does it mean? Let's take an example. The way the press has developed has not protected it from contemporary pressures. So we see the word it. It refers to a noun. So we go back. Has not protected, that's a verb. Has developed is a verb. The press has not protected the press, or the way has not protected the press from contemporary pressures. The way, put the word or words back into the sentence, replace them, say it, and see if it makes sense. One good way is to, once you do know what it is, circle the word press and make a little arrow to it, or write the press over the word it. It refers to the press. And sometimes we have things like to. In this spectrum of opinion, we can find radical and activist views, but rarely the two combined. So we have to go back and look for two of something. We have two views. What kind of views? A radical view and an activist view, but rarely the two kinds of views, radical and activist. And then we're able to understand what it is. Many times when we're reading one of the biggest problems is that we get lost. We can get confused. We don't remember what the to or it or he or they refers to. So it's a good idea when you're working to stop, circle, underline, highlight in some way to make it very clear when you're reading and you're reading again what these words refer to. And sometimes a word or a phrase is completely left out. And we have to go into the text or into the world to understand, to add from our own understanding. In over-administrated areas, people are arrested for acts of violence. In under-administrated areas, very few. So what are we missing? Very few people are arrested for acts of violence. So basically, instead of repeating this phrase, we're just shortening it by saying very few. And that's reviewing references in a very, very brief way, and we'll probably take a look at it in another video. Thanks for listening.